there's stuff that we've improved on in certain areas, but it's just about making it more consistent, staying in front of those chains. So, you know, each game we're trying to build on what we did the last game.
Was the difference last game just being more intentional? It seemed like you had a lot more ops, obviously, or was it a lot better up front? What was the difference with the last game?
I think the difference last game was just a mindset. I mean, we're tired of not performing. So I think you know, we went out there with a mindset of we're make it happen, whether it's guys stepping up making key blocks or it's backs making their own holes. Just trying not to be denied. You know, that's really what it is. It's not like some formula equation of why we did better one game than the other. You know, we're just trying to keep getting better, and we had a great mindset last game, so hopefully we can continue that and continue to improve.
Do you think personally you kind of took a little bit of the stress off for yourself? You know, maybe there was struggles to start, and then to really, you know, feel like you kind of found a rhythm again. Did it feel like that?
Yeah, I think you know, I just kind of trying to use my words the right way. I don't know. I just like I said about the run game as a whole, just a mindset of just forget. I'm not gonna, you know, sit there and worry about what it looks like. I don't care about what people have to say about yards per carry. I'm gonna go make stuff happen. And so, you know, that was kind of the mindset I had in that game. And you know, I felt like, or at least what I tried to do was, you know, kind of be a spark, kind of get people fired up through my play. That's kind of my role. And when I step in that leadership role, I've always been much more of a show by action than, you know, necessarily being super vocal. So that was, you know, my goal going into the game, and you know, something I'm continuing to work on.
So you're saying the outside noise. Did it feel you a little bit? Is it hard not to ignore it?
Not at all. I mean, unless you're my wife or my son, I don't really care about anybody else's opinion. But you know, it's definitely one of those things where, you know, I myself, you know, looking back at games, I'm like, man, like, you know, there might not necessarily been a clean hole here, but me, when I'm running with that right mindset, with that pad level, you know, I can create one with my skill set. So I think we're just kind of making the decision to turn that on and continuing to do that, you know, going forward all the time.
As you look back at past games, has it been more not having the production you want? Has it been more that mindset, or has it just not? Has there been more yards to get there, or just hasn't been more yards?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, to start off, I mean, it's, you know, I think, you know, as the season's got on, we've gotten a lot better as a run unit. It's not me singling out any one group. There's been times where in a couple of games I've looked back and been like, man, I could have, you know, done this right here. Could have potentially been an explosive play. I'm sure everybody, you know, as a whole, I don't think anybody's in the rush game is excited and happy about where we go, because we know all the talent we have in that room, offense or with everybody who's a part of that. And so I think, you know, it's just about being consistent, just everybody, all 11, at the same time on that same play doing it, because that's the thing in this game. I mean, one guy gets free, you know, that's the closing distance. They're going to get there. What could have been a 10-yard gain is a 2-yard gain. Or if a back, you're sitting there second guessing, what could have been an explosive gain ends up being a 1-yard gain. And so, you know, I think it's just about being collectively on the same pace, or on the same page at all times. But like I said, I mean, looking back at our last game and even looking back each week, I think we've had a goal to something to improve upon. And, you know, stats may be what they are, but, you know, I'm confident that we're, you know, going in the right direction. And so we're going out there, busting our butts out there in practice. I'm fired up. Whoever in that room is going to be in that starting five, blocking for me, blocking for us. I know all the running backs trust them, trust what they have and what they're bringing to the table, and we know they're putting in the work. So, yeah, I mean, that's all that matters.
What's your mindset with more than half the schedule left to play?
I mean, mindset's to go 1-0 this week. I mean, it's so early. We're just, if you go by quarters, this is the first game of the second quarter of the season. You know, I mean, we've been 13-3, and, you know, the goal is the Super Bowl. We've been 13-3 and not getting to that end goal. Last year, we started off slow. We picked up at the end, got hot. We didn't win that last game. The record, all that, it's just go 1-0 that week. Don't think too far ahead. Don't look in the past. Just go take care of business. Go do your job, take care of business. That's everybody's mindset. We're not focused on, you know, 10 more games or how many more games. You got to win this one, and then we can focus on the next one after that.
You guys had to sit with that first loss
Yeah.
for a few extra days. Then you lose 2 in a row and you have to sit through it all the way through the bye week as a team.
Yeah. I mean, anytime you can get a win in this league, I know it's kind of the generic response, but winning in this league is hard. You can see it. There's a reason the phrase is any given Sunday because any team can beat any team in this league, and so winning comes down to a handful of plays all the time. Everybody knows that who actually watches the game, and so it's just obviously we're going out there trying to be 1-0 this week and getting that win, getting back in that win column, getting that kind of morale boost of coming back in and win, starting off right after the bye would be huge.
You know, in the Raiders game, you have this great series where 3 or 4 different runs, you score a touchdown. And maybe it's time to give you, a rest, but they don't use 31. And yesterday, Matt said, there's a lot of potential there, but we're not sure about pass blocking, those kinds of things. I mean, it's hard. And then they release Patrick. It's like, but I remember it was hard for you to get on the field your first year too, even though you were a draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get on the field at this position.
Yeah, I mean, we got a talented room. I mean, there's you brought up Patrick. I mean, he's a guy who's been here since my rookie year. I know he was undrafted and everything, but he was a heck of a player, heck of a teammate. As far as Emmanuel, I really don't like to talk too much about other players, but what I can say is he's a great dude, great teammate, and he comes out to work every day. And his progress, from when he's gotten here to week in, week out, he's really improving and continuing to go out there and show, why he is here. I think people lose sight, he's on the 53-man roster. There's less than 2,000 people playing in the NFL right now.
Sure.
So, he's obviously a great player, probably more talented than 99.9% of people even know or have ever met. So, he's a great player, and, opportunities come. I mean, you brought it up. I was second-round pick. I think I only had less than 50 carries my rookie year. You show up where you can. Availability is the best thing you can be. It's a long season, as we brought up, and there's a lot of opportunities. You just got to wait for your number to be called, and I think he's done a good job stepping in when they have put him out there.
You had 5 carries the first 7 plays this last game, and then I think 2 or 3 the rest of the half going away from you. What was halftime like? As third quarter adjustments, it was the ball to you. What was halftime like?
The halftime, we were just like, all right, let's get back to it. I felt like we were running the ball well. I felt like up front we were getting, enough push to kind of be dominant. I think we came out in that second half. I think right at that first drive, I think, is when we scored. But I mean, the mindset was we were kind of just shooting ourselves in the foot, getting behind the chains in some instances. I mean, I was like, I told the offense, I was like, they can't mess with us. They can't stop us. We just go out there and do what we do. They can't. And, we went out there and did that. And, it's just like we were talking about before. It's not just any one person or anyone. It's just about us all collectively all being on the same page and executing at the same time. And we've been getting so much better than that. That's why we're in, even though I know we haven't won some of these games, we're right there. We're right there. And we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out as a team. And, I told everybody after the game, the biggest thing is just sticking together. We're all we got, we're all we need. And, any other outside noise or whatever we got going on does not matter. We got to go out there with the 11 on offense, 11 on defense, 11 on special teams to go get the job done. So, I think that's everybody's mindset. I'm not really here for any extracurricular talking about who he said, she said, or what the heck else is going on outside of that. We're going to try to go 1-0 this week.
Jim, who's your biggest concern with that front of the Broncos?
I don't know. I don't want to pinpoint one. They got a really good front seven. I'll give it that. They're pretty active up front. I got my BC guy over there, Zach Allen. Played against him my second year, I think, when he was down with the Cardinals. So, I'll give him his credit. He's a great player. But we're excited for the opportunity. We know they got a good front seven. As far as the rushing game goes, and you got Justin Simmons in the back end, you got Pat Surtain, and all that stuff. So good team, like I said, and nobody's focused on records, nobody's focused on any of that. We're just trying to go 1-0. So we still got a couple days more doing scouting reports, looking at what they have and where we can try to attack. But got to give credit where it's due. They got some really good players in key positions.